Alright Nexians, gather around. Today, we're not just talking about power levels, or cosmic abilities, or who could beat who in a fight. Today, we're diving into something far more fundamental, something that has shaped civilizations, defined heroes, and carved legends across countless realms of reality and fiction alike. We're talking about weapons of necessity. And for our inaugural journey into this brand new series, there's only one weapon truly worthy of first examination. The blade that has stood the test of time, the symbol of countless warriors, the ultimate extension of will and might, the sword. So, what makes the sword such an undeniable force, both in our history and across the vast tapestry of fiction? Its necessity isn't just about cutting power, it's about its place at the very forefront of human ingenuity and conflict. Let's start by grounding ourselves in real-world history. From the earliest copper daggers to the master-crafted steel of medieval knights and samurai, the sword has been a constant. It's evolved from simple, sharpened tools into specialized instruments of war, ceremony, and self-defense. Its design, metallurgy, and fighting styles reflect the cultures that wielded them. The Roman gladius for close-quarters legionary combat, the agile katana of the samurai for swift, decisive strikes, and the mighty European longsword for versatile battlefield engagement. Each iteration was a response to the necessities of its era, becoming an indispensable part of a warrior's toolkit and a society's defense. Let's dive deeper into some iconic examples that truly cemented the sword's necessity and symbolism throughout human history. Consider the Roman gladius. This short, double-edged blade was a workhorse of the Roman legions. Its necessity wasn't in grand, sweeping arcs, but in brutal, disciplined, and efficient thrusting strikes within tight shield walls. It was a tool of conquest, designed for optimal effectiveness in formations that dominated the ancient world. Then, we look to the Japanese katana. Far more than just a weapon, the katana was the very soul of the samurai. Its distinctive curved blade, often crafted through a meticulous, multi-folding process of steel to achieve both incredible sharpness and resilience, was perfectly suited for rapid, precise cuts in duels and skirmishes. It symbolized honor, discipline, and the warrior spirit in feudal Japan, becoming a cultural icon as much as a tool of war. In Europe, the longsword stood as a testament to medieval versatility. Wielded with one or two hands, its length allowed for both powerful cuts and piercing thrusts against armored opponents. It was integral to the knightly class, not only as a formidable battlefield weapon, but also as a symbol of chivalry, justice, and noble lineage, often featured in ceremonies and heraldry. Beyond these famous examples, swords from other cultures like the Indian khanda or the various African blades, such as the shotel from Ethiopia, also demonstrate this adaptability and cultural significance. The khanda, for instance, known for its broad straight blade, was often used in religious ceremonies and was revered as a symbol of power and protection. The shotel, with its highly curved, sickle-like blade, allowed warriors to bypass shields, showcasing how diverse necessities led to incredible, diverse, and specialized designs. Technological advancements were also crucial. The mastery of metallurgy, from early bronze casting to the development of sophisticated steel-making techniques like Damascus steel and pattern welding, continuously pushed the boundaries of what a blade could do. These innovations made swords lighter, stronger, sharper, and more durable, ensuring their continued relevance and dominance as primary weapons for millennia. Now, moving into the boundless realms of fiction, the sword's legacy isn't merely continued, it's elevated to mythical status. Here, swords aren't just metal, they are imbued with magic, powered by ancient spirits, forged from impossible materials, or directly linked to the very soul of the wielder. Think of the lightsaber, not just a blade, but a focused beam of pure energy defining an entire galactic order. Or the Zanpakutō from Bleach, which are literal manifestations of a soul reaper's, soul, evolving with their wielder and wielding unique, often devastating abilities. In fiction, the sword transcends its physical form, becoming a literal character in itself, a symbol of destiny, power, or sacrifice. Its presence often dictates the very rules of combat and narrative flow, making it absolutely essential to the fabric of its universe. Now, let's cut deep into specific universes, starting with one where the sword isn't just a weapon, but the very key to humanity's survival. In a world where towering man-eating titans roam free, the standard firearms and cannons of our world are virtually useless. Their regenerative abilities and sheer size render conventional weaponry ineffective. This is where omnidirectional mobility gear, also known as ODM gear, and its accompanying blades become not just essential, but the only viable means of offense. The swords wielded by the Survey Corps and other military branches are unique. They are thin, incredibly sharp, and designed for one brutal purpose: severing the nape of a Titan's neck, their single critical weak point. Without these specialized blades, capable of cleaving through Titan flesh, humanity would literally have no way to fight back. Imagine trying to kill a 15-meter giant with a musket, or even a modern tank. It would be like swatting at a fly with a feather duster. The design of these swords, coupled with the agility of the ODM gear, creates a symbiotic necessity. One can't effectively exist without the other in this fight for existence. Furthermore, the constant need for replacement blades during engagements underscores their disposable yet utterly crucial nature. A soldier carries multiple scabbards, not because they are weak, but because the fight demands a constant, fresh edge to maintain their ability to wound and kill. This isn't just about wielding a sword, it's about the very technology of survival being built around this specific form of bladed combat. Without these unique swords, the Eldians inside the walls would have been devoured long ago, making them the most necessary weapon in their desperate struggle. From the towering threats of Titans, we move to the shadows, where humanity battles against monstrous beings driven by insatiable hunger. Let's talk about the world of Demon Slayer. In this universe, the fight against demons is a nightly struggle for survival, and conventional weapons are once again utterly useless against their supernatural resilience and regeneration. Bullets and normal steel merely annoy them. The only way to truly incapacitate and kill a demon is through exposure to sunlight, or, far more commonly, by decapitation with a specialized weapon, the Nichirin Blade. These aren't just any swords. They are meticulously crafted from unique ore that constantly absorbs sunlight, making them the only tool capable of permanently severing a demon's head and preventing their regeneration. Without a Nichirin blade, even the most skilled warrior is essentially disarmed against a demon. Their very existence is predicated on the singular weakness of their enemy. What's more, each blade changes color to reflect the breathing style of its wielder, symbolizing the profound connection between the sword and the Slayer's unique abilities. This deep personal bond, combined with the blade's inherent anti-demon properties, makes it more than just a weapon. It's an extension of the Slayer's will and their only hope for victory. The necessity here is absolute. No Nichirin blade, no victory against the demonic threat, and ultimately, no hope for humanity. From the gritty battle against demons, we shift gears into the spiritual realm, where the very soul of a warrior manifests as their blade. Let's delve into the necessities of swords in Bleach. In the world of the Soul Society and beyond, Soul Reapers are tasked with guiding souls and purifying hollows, which are corrupt spirits that prey on the living. Their primary and only effective tool for this immense responsibility is the Zanpakutō. These aren't simply manufactured swords, they are profound extensions of a Soul Reaper's own, soul, manifesting as unique blades with distinct personalities and abilities. A Soul Reaper without their Zanpakutō is virtually powerless against a hollow or another spiritual entity. Traditional weapons cannot harm these beings, and even immense spiritual pressure isn't enough for purification or decisive combat. The Zanpakutō allows them to interact with and affect the spiritual plane, enabling them to purify hollows and engage in high-stakes combat. Furthermore, the true power of a Zanpakutō lies in its released forms, Shikai and Bankai. These transformations unlock devastating abilities unique to each blade, allowing Soul Reapers to contend with increasingly powerful threats, often changing the very rules of engagement. Without this deep, symbiotic connection to their unique sword, a Soul Reaper's existence and their ability to fulfill their duties would be impossible, making the Zanpakutō the quintessential necessary weapon of their spiritual world. From the soul-bound blades of Soul Reapers, we now leap into a galactic war zone where ancient alien technology meets brutal necessity. Let's ignite the discussion around the Halo energy sword. In the interstellar conflict of Halo, humanity, primarily represented by the UNSC, faces the technologically superior Covenant, a zealous alien alliance. While humanity relies heavily on projectile weapons, the energy sword stands out as a unique and terrifying weapon, primarily wielded by the elite Sangheili, or elites of the Covenant. This isn't just a ceremonial blade, it's a devastating close-quarters instrument forged from pure plasma, capable of slicing through Mjolnir armor, vehicles, and flesh with horrifying ease. The necessity of the energy sword, particularly for the Sangheili, lies deep within their warrior culture and hierarchical structure. For the elites, the energy sword is far more than just a weapon. It's a symbol of honor, status, and tradition. Wielding it signifies their elevated rank and mastery in combat, a testament to their skill and ferocity. It represents the pinnacle of their close-quarters combat prowess and serves as a devastating, decisive melee weapon that complements their aggressive combat philosophy. While the Covenant possesses a vast arsenal of plasma rifles and carbines, the energy sword provides an unparalleled advantage in direct, face-to-face confrontation, often used to overwhelm and instantly eliminate powerful human targets like Spartans. Its distinct hum and glowing blades are a psychological weapon as much as a physical one, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. Without this iconic, lethal, close combat tool, Sangheili would lose a critical element of their distinct fighting style and their terrifying effectiveness in the thick of battle, making it a necessary centerpiece of their elite warrior culture and a profound embodiment of their martial pride. From the brutal, plasma-edged combat of Halo, we jump to a galaxy far, far away, where elegant weapons for a more civilized age are wielded by mystical warriors. Of course, we're talking about the lightsaber from Star Wars. In the Star Wars universe, the lightsaber is the quintessential weapon of the Jedi and Sith, directly channeling the cosmic energy of the Force itself. While blasters and other projectile weapons are commonplace, they are largely ineffective against a Force user of any significant skill. The unique blade of pure energy can deflect blaster bolts with ease, cut through most conventional material, and serves as an unparalleled tool for both offense and defense in the hands of a trained practitioner. Without a lightsaber, a Jedi's ability to engage in direct combat with opposing Force users, or even large numbers of equipped foes, is severely hampered, forcing them to rely solely on their Force powers, which often lack the direct surgical precision a lightsaber provides. But the lightsaber's necessity goes far beyond its combat utility. For the Jedi, constructing their own lightsaber is a profound rite of passage, a deeply personal process that binds them to the Force and marks their commitment to the Order's ideals. It's a symbol of peace, justice, and the mastery of self. On the other hand, for the Sith, it's an instrument of raw power and dominance, often colored by their descent into the dark side. It is a visual and thematic anchor for the entire saga, representing the philosophical struggle between light and dark, order and chaos. In a galaxy defined by the conflict of the Force, the lightsaber is not just a weapon. It's an extension of a Force user's very being, making it utterly indispensable to their identity, combat effectiveness, and the core narrative of their universe. From the gleaming elegance of lightsabers, we now plunge into the nightmarish Victorian-era streets of Yharnam, where the very act of survival hinges on weapons that transform to meet an evolving horror. Let's analyze the critical role of swords in Bloodborne. In Bloodborne, the world is plagued by a beastly scourge, transforming its inhabitants into grotesque monstrosities. Unlike traditional fantasy settings, firearms are secondary tools, used for parrying or staggering enemies rather than direct damage. The true necessity lies in the unique trick weapons wielded by the hunters, many of which are innovative forms of blades. These aren't just swords, they're complex mechanical masterpieces designed with dual forms, allowing for rapid transformations between distinct attack modes, often from a smaller, quicker blade to a larger, more impactful one, or even a firearm hybrid. This versatility is absolutely critical to survive. Hunters face foes ranging from swift, agile beasts to lumbering, heavily armored abominations, and the ability to instantly adapt their weapon's form and attack pattern is paramount. A hunter can't hope to survive the night without mastering these intricate, transforming blades, as static, single-form weapons would quickly render them overwhelmed by the sheer variety and brutality of the nightmare. The necessity here is in the adaptability and ingenuity of these swords, making them the only effective instruments for carving a path through Yharnam's horrors. So there you have it, Nexians. We've traversed universes, from the desperate struggle against Titans to the spiritual battles of Demon Slayer and Bleach, the galactic warfare of Halo and Star Wars, and the nightmare-ridden streets of Bloodborne. And through it all, one truth remains undeniably clear. The sword, in its myriad of forms, is more than just a weapon. It's a tool of absolute survival, when no other armament can pierce the enemy's defenses or exploit their critical weaknesses. It's a symbol of cultural identity and warrior ethos, defining entire civilizations and their champions. It's an extension of power and will, often intrinsically linked with the very being of its wielder. And critically, it's an adaptable instrument evolving with its wielder and its world to meet increasingly impossible threats. The sword is not just a weapon in these worlds, it's unequivocally the weapon of necessity. Its enduring presence, symbolic weight, and sheer effectiveness when all else fails solidify its place as not just an iconic piece of fiction, but as an indispensable cornerstone of survival, power, and identity across the multiverse. But what did you think, Nexians? Did we miss a crucial blade? What weapon do you believe is most necessary in its own universe? And what other iconic armaments should we dissect in our next Weapons of Necessity breakdown? Unsheath your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thank you for joining the Nexus. Stay sharp, stay vigilant, and this is your captain, signing off.